Yeah, welcome back. So tonight I'm going to do a little tabletop review of this new Frankford Arsenal intellidropper. It's a powder drop digital. It's electronic. It's pretty nice. I'm going to walk you through how easy it is to save your load in the app, because there's an app you can download and you can save your loads, and then if you have your favorite load, you just go to that load and send it to the scale and put it in auto mode, and every time you put the pan on there, it'll drop your powder. It's been very, very consistent for me. I think I've, out of the 40 loads that I've tested with the powder and the intellidropper, I think I've only had maybe one over, none under, so that's pretty good. And that was with both fine powder and extruded powder, where the grains are pretty thick and whatnot. But so tonight I'm going to be loading 6.5 Creedmoor rounds, and I'm using the 6.5 stable powder with Nosler RDF bullets. So, but this is more towards this powder drop and how consistent it can be. So I'm going to switch it to my screen recorder for my phone, and I'm going to go to the app, and I'll show how you can add your loads and how you can send it to the scale, and it would automatically drop as soon as you send it to the scale and hit drop, or load, whatever you want to call it. But so yeah, I'm gonna probably load up 30 rounds here tonight, and I probably won't do it all on camera here, but we'll get the gist of it and show you. Now, I picked this up off of Amazon, $199. I think that's pretty fair for a electronic powder dispenser. And I was looking at the RCBS and the Hornady. I think Hornady, the one that I was looking at, was right around the same price. But I went with the Frankford Arsenal because you can use the app, and that's just so convenient. I mean, everything is with an app nowadays, but it really is convenient because you can save your loads, and I'll walk you through on the app and show you. So let me switch the camera around, and then we'll get to loading powder and seating some bullets. All right, hold on. All right, so this is the app. When you open it up, this is what you see here. And you got your mode. This is your down here on the top left. You got your mode, auto, and manual, and then load. That's what you hit when you want to start dispensing some powder. 0 to 0 your scale. Trickle. You can trickle your charge up if it loads under. You just hit that trickle button, and I know you can't see where I'm pointing, but it's all right here on the screen. So then you got your unit, whether you want it grains or grams. We'll put it back on grams. We'll put it back on grains. Then you can calibrate your whatever pan you have on there. And let's see, down here you can powder calibrate. That's pretty convenient. Right down here on your bottom of the screen, you hit that powder calibrate, and I've already done it with this 6.5 stable powder. But you hit that, and it will run through the powder, and it will go fast and slow and whatnot, and it will calibrate to the powder that you have in there. So like if you have using Varget or IMR 4350 or any thick stick powder or fine powder, mind you, it will calibrate it to that powder, which is pretty cool. So that way there it kind of knows what powder you have and knows how fast to send it and whatnot. So all right, so this is your home screen, and here on the middle of the button down here, this will tell you your new load, your database, favorites. You can save your favorites, and it has a cost center, which is kind of cool. Gives you put your bullets in, your powder, your primers, and all that crap, and it will say how much it costs to load your your rounds. So that's pretty neat. So if you want to hit your favorites, I don't have any favorites in here now, but I will. And let me screw over here. Your database. So for new loads, let's just go over here. You can put your caliber, and then you can whatever caliber is, your choices are endless. And then you put your bullet in, and it has the manufacturers. And I haven't really played around with it too much to find out, how many different manufacturing for the bullets there are, but that's okay. Let's see, your diameter, your type, your weight. Let me go out of that. Your powder. Now I did, using this Winchester stay ball, it's not in the system yet, so I had to edit that in. You can put your firearm that you're using, your primers, your case if you want to, if you're using if you have your favorite load and you're always going to use the certain cases, say I'm using 80G cases for my 6.5 Creedmoor, and you can save that in, or Winchester cases or Federal, you can get the gist of that. And then here you can, this is enter your load in grains. Now you can say, if you want to, let's see, 44.0, and then you hit add. Obviously you would put your powder choice and all that crap in there before, in the screen before, and then you just hit add, and it will save it here. And then down here you can save it, and then after you save it, you can send it right to the scale, and it will, as soon as you hit load, it will start dumping your powder. So that's pretty really nice to have. Excuse my fingers across the screen here. So on my database, I've already entered in a bunch of Creedmoor loads. So I have these first choices here are Barnes, and show you what it looks like here. Will it show summary? Yeah. So this is the Barnes. This is what the bullets I was using. The Hodgdon Superformance case overall length 2.260, the Ruger firearm, the primers, 6-hour cases, your grains, and then once you test the powder and your bullets and in the loads, you can put in your group size. So you just hit this add button and then enter in your group size, and that way there, like if you want to go back and say, whatever powder wasn't in stock, so you went to this other powder, and you can say, well, this gave me sub MOA results, and you can just save it right in there, and you can save your velocity, which is really cool. So yeah, you can send that right to the scale. I'm not going to send that to the scale because I'm not using the Barnes. Oops. Let's go back to the database. So these are what I have down here, the nozzle RDFs. And this is what I'm going to load up tonight. And so yeah, this is you got your caliber, you got your bullets, your powder, Winchester stay ball. This is your loads, and then this is your cases there, your primers, your overall length, the firearm, velocity. Obviously, I haven't entered any of that because I haven't shot any of these, nor have I shot those Barnes. That will be coming up in a video here shortly. And then here you can have your velocity and your groups, and which is really cool. You can even take a picture, which is, you just, obviously you can, whoa, I didn't know this. You can view the picture and you can measure your group. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. Learning something new as we're going. And then there's another choice here where you can add in whatever, you want to say, like the temperature, what how many, what your elevations were, all that, anything, any extra notes that you can think of, which is kind of cool. So let's start here at 42.8. This is going to be my first load, and then let's send this to the scale, and then you can see it's already, you can't see me, I mean I'll get you on the screen in a minute, but it's already starting to dump. If you can hear it, you can see on the screen that it is dumping the powder. And 42 point, and we are at 42.8. That is fabulous. That is right on the money, and it beeps, let you know that that it's finished. And then if it's over, it will. I think there's another audible beep that that will tell you that you're over. So, all right, I'm gonna end this here and switch you back around to the so you can see the whole gist of it. And all right, so on your this whole machine here, you have adjustable legs that you need to have your scale level, and obviously in a you know, climate controlled room where there's no airflow or whatnot. Now it has a little bubble level right here, and you want that to be, you know, level. That way there everything stays nice and stable and whatnot. Now let me find my funnel, and let's I'm gonna switch this over to auto mode. All right, so dump this in here and put it on the scale. Now it should start dumping. As soon as it gets 0 and it's stable, it will start dumping your powder. And one thing I'm trying to learn is, like, when I've got my first 5 and I'm going to the next 5, I need to cancel that load and go to the next load. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of, I'm learning how to run this machine here and whatnot. I'm trying to do this one-handed. Normally I would definitely always have 2 hands on here. Now, one thing you really want to be careful not to hit this spout here, because obviously powder will come out and then it'll throw your 0 off. Not by much, but every little bit counts, because, you know, we're trying to do, you know, have good consistent accurate loads, and, you know, you don't want to have your scale off just a little bit. So he's that's 3. That was all at 42.8. This will be the 4th. And number 4 is 0. So when I first got this machine, it was kind of tricky to learn the app, and actually this one might go back. The number 4 button doesn't work, and 7 doesn't work. So that's 5 in a row that have been thrown right at the selected powder charge. So now, before putting this, because if you put the pan back on there, it'll go to 0 and it will start throwing powder. So I have to hit cancel to cancel that target load, and then put the pan back on there and get it 0, and then go, because you can't do your save data on this here. You have to go back into the app and select the next charge for that. So I am going to do that, turn the camera off, and then I'm going to go back to the app, and then I'll turn the camera around so you can hear me ramble and say how, you know, whether I like my dislikes and likes about this Frankford Arsenal intellidropper. All right, hold on. So one thing I like about the scale is that I can set the scale over here to right next to my single stage press, and right after the charge is thrown, I can take that case right to the press and seat the bullet, measure it, make sure everything's good, and then put the pan back on there, and just continuously keep going, and which is kind of nice. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do like my Hornady powder drop. I do like that. I have my Hornady powder drop over here for my progressive press that I only use this press for my handgun loads, and that's the only thing I load progressive. But yeah, so this scale that's definitely a pro. You can, and I'm not trying to speed up, go really fast at my loading, because by all means, when you go fast and you can screw up. But it's pretty convenient to have something like this dump the powder for you and be very accurate. And I've tested this with both of my I got that Wawa scale and tested it on the Wawa scale and my Lyman scale that I bought when I first started reloading. And the Lyman scale, it's like a tenth under, but it's accurate. I don't have I do have a beam scale, but that beam scale is a piece of crap, and I wish I never bought it. Secondhand, used, and so my dislikes about the scale and this powder dispenser. This is your drain. This is how to dump your powder. You got to put this, at the edge of your bench. Put your jug under it, and then dump it in there. And then you have there's always granules inside there, and then inside your throw here. So there's always powder in there, and then you could trickle it out, but it's a pain in the neck. So you got to take this intellidropper, and it's not an you can take this intellidropper and then shake it around to get the powder out. I might get that at the end of the video here. Try to make this video under 20 minutes. But to get the powder out, it's kind of a pain in the neck. Kind of expected that, being, something like this. I can't just, it's not like my Hornady dispensers where you could just unscrew it from the base and then empty it out into your jug. But it is what it is. It's really convenient throwing powder. It's not very convenient when you're done and you have powder left in there to put back into your jug. So, all right. So I'm going to run through the rest of these loads, and all right, so out of the 30 rounds that I loaded, I had one that was over, and that was kind of my mistake. I went into the app and changed I was going to the next load, and I sent it to the scale. Well, and it was still filling up with a previous charge, and when I set it to scale, it changed it in mid-flight, if you will, in mid-loading. Instead of 43.7, it went to 44. So that was my mistake. Otherwise, I would have had 30 for 30 at with no overage or under. So this Frankford Arsenal intellidropper with this powder, it was very consistent. 100%. I'll say that, because that one charge was my mistake. Show you the process on emptying out this intellidropper. So I unplugged it, so there's no issues with it hitting any buttons with the powder dumping out on me. So I'm going to take and put a wing nut. I'm going to glue a wing nut on here so I can just turn it really easy. I really wish this spout was like just a little bit longer, an inch. Or maybe I'll take and put a piece of hose on there, have it up so no powder will dump out, and then when I'm ready to dump, just dump the hose. So being new, there's a lot of static in this. I need to take a dryer sheet. In fact, I'll do this before I put it away tonight. But you can see, I don't know if you can see, but there's a lot of powder left down in there, and mind you, there's still some in the tube here, and that's why I try to keep this pan on here, so any powder that comes out of the tube will go right into the pan. This is probably the biggest dislike on this scale is you know, dumping the powder when you're done. So is this going to replace my Hornady powder drop? No. In fact, I'll definitely use that, you know, just as much. If I'm only loading 20 rounds, so I don't have to deal with this dumping the powder out of here. We'll just use the Hornady. That throw is really consistent, and I weigh every charge anyways, and I'll trickle up. More time consuming because this I can do seat the bullets while it's dumping the charge before the next charge. So you know, it is definitely faster, but you know, this is my biggest complaint. So I'm gonna finish this. Let me know in the comments below on what you think of this this Frankford Arsenal intellidropper. Let me know in the comments below if you have one, and your likes and dislikes, and definitely stick around for some 6.5 stable 140 grain Nauza RDFs and the 6.5 Creedmoor. And hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and we'll catch you soon. Thanks for all for watching. Bye. Done.